What up, everybody? It's your boy Pyro Slays Music, and today we're checking out some Thrice, their newest LP, Horizons West. Shout out to our boy Ryan B from the Patreon. Appreciate you, brother. He requested Nash, but I'm doing the whole LP, so we're going to get down with it. Let's talk about Thrice a little bit. My experience with Thrice is not very much. I'm just going to be straight with you guys. Almost everything that I've gotten from Thrice has been via reactions in the last 2 or 3 years. It's weird because they're honestly in the style and stuff that I've in the scene. You would have thought I would have already known them, but not the case. Well, that's not fully true. The case is Black Honey. I did know. It was the only song that I knew by them. I have about 11 tracks, though, currently, that I have in a playlist. The Earth Will Shake. That was a banger. Oh, yeah, there's some good ones. So, it's not going to be a full comprehension. If you're looking for somebody that's listened to every Thrice album and like a super fan, you won't find that here. Just a guy that's willing to give it a spin and see what, like I said, it's kind of up my alley. So it's going to be, I should like it. Regardless, I'm going to be honest with you throughout the whole thing. Please go out and support the artist. It's not easy putting together these projects. And I'll say that whether I love it or hate it. So let's go and jump on in. Blackout.
Between the glamored grip of words, unconfessed, a mirrored masquerade. Clear and bright, amidst the banter of the birds, manifest in every emerald blade. We'll find its light inside each breath, behind our eyes, beneath the west. Beyond the myths of utter emptiness of form, the warping webs here and now entwined. Between the thistles and the thorns, like thoughts bereft of wisdom and of wine. We'll find its light inside each breath, behind our eyes, beneath the west. Black out the moon, black out the stars, black out the sun. Black out the moon, black out the stars, black out the sun. Black out the moon, black out the stars, black out the sun. Black out the moon, black out the stars, black out the sun. See what shines. Black out the stars, black out the sun. See what shines. Black out the stars, black out the sun. See what shines. Black out the stars, black out the sun. See what we'll find its light inside each breath, behind our eyes, beneath the west. We'll find its light inside each breath, behind our eyes, beneath the west. Black out the moon, black out the stars, black out the sun.
I love this track as an intro to the LP. Is it a standout track that I'm going to listen to on rotation heavily? No, probably not. But when it does come on, I'm really going to enjoy these sonic textures that it provides. Like the, I love how there was the acoustic in there. And then you had, where was that? It had that weird, like, kind of like it sound. You can hear it. It's almost like a movie. I don't know what that like long droning bit was or what instrument that is, but it really added to that whole feel. It was cool because like I said, they just had each instrument at like a different level, and it was like perfectly. It was right where I wanted everything. I don't know how to describe it better than that. But the build was really interesting because it had that really slow build, and I think that's what kind of takes it out of being like just a constant rotation track. But the build was fantastic, and then really I feel like it paid off there where it kind of really popped off. And I think we're gonna go with like a 7 here on the intro. Let's go with a 7 on this track. It's gonna go in playlists. Very curious about the rest of the album. Honestly, a little hyped because I love that intro. Let's go, Nash.
Tangled line, it always seems to wind around your neck. I'm the heavy hammer that you seize to make something new. All you can do is break. I'm the subtle dagger. I can sleep, someone's to blame for making the same mistakes. I'm the mother tongue. I'm the manic fiend. You hit send. I'm the monstrous maze where you've been lost for days, days on end. I'm the heavy hammer that you seize to make something new. All you can do is break. I'm the subtle dagger. I can sleep with someone's to blame for making the same mistake. I'm the take that I'm the take that I'm the take that I'm the take that I'm the take
I'm going to be straight with you guys. I am always very, like, hesitant, I think is the right word for it, when I'm approaching an alt-rock project, just because of the, like, I don't know. I feel like there's so much that kind of sounds the same, at least from what I've heard. Or maybe I've just been listening to the wrong stuff, and I've been, I've listened to some generic shit or something. But this is cool because they kind of had more of a post-rock, or no, post-hardcore thing going on in their early years. And then they kind of transitioned into that more of that alt rock sound, still kind of carrying some of the, unique things that they had when they were, a younger band. And then now they're kind of bringing in this little kind of artsy spin to it. And I'm liking this a lot. The weird electric sounds. I don't know quite what the hell those are. And normally, I'll be honest, like, for example, metalcore. I love metalcore, but the really, like, this isn't compressed. Maybe that's it. But metalcore has that, and I don't know if I like it, to be honest with you. Albatross is the next track. Let's keep this going. So far, I'm very happy with this. Nash is, well, we're gonna get that one an 8. It's gonna go on a playlist. I normally don't rate each song, but I'm kind of feeling it right now, so we're gonna do it. Maybe I'll probably forget halfway through the album. We'll get an end rating though. Easily my favorite one yet. I mean, we have the rhyming, just the flow. I believe the lead singer's Dustin, right? Yeah, I think it's Dustin. His vocals are so nice, and then I like that it has the simplistic melodies, in kind of a rhyme scheme going on a little bit, and that was perfect because everything about this song is quirky AF. Let's just put it that way. Like, you have the mixing is really, really nice, and you have like some instruments on one side while the other's on the other side, and it just really adds this nice depth to the song. It doesn't feel flat. This is a really, really good song. Like, really good. I'm going to go with a 9 here. Like, I like this shit a lot. Like, I grew up with a lot of post-grunge, which, you know, is considered dad rock at this point. Divorced dad rock, I believe. I think that's what they call it. Divorce, that's what the kids are calling divorced dad rock. And I grew up on that. But obviously, you get pretty bored of that rather quickly. You know, one-offs or whatever every once in a while. You know, that's fine. But, like, a lot of it now is just reutilizing that same post-grunge sound back then, and it sounds all the same, right? And if there's any ounce of post-grunge here, I'm not saying there is, but I'm just comparing it to, like, other rock projects. Because this does have, like, that chorus, for example, you could easily put that in a radio rock song, and that's what I'm getting at here. But everything else in the song has so much care put into it, and it feels artistic, as well as capturing some of that melodic post-grunge kind of sound a little bit with the vocals, and I love that. I love that. Just sounds like you know, they went out of their way to make sure that it doesn't sound generic. So I'm a fan of this. Undertow's the next one. Let's keep it moving. What?
Your hand, I'm wide awake, but I'm dreaming so miles away from the dread unknown.
All right, so this is an interesting track because I was so lost in, again, I don't really know what kind of instruments went into this, but there's a lot of sounds. And I was thoroughly just lost in those. And it was funny because a lot of times I kind of in my head deduct points a little bit if I zone out in a song, and then likely I'm being bored. I'm bored, right? So my mind's wandering. But this was funny because I got about halfway through and I was so lost in the soundscape that I was like, holy shit, he's singing. And then it was just around the part where he was talking about feeling like a dream. And I was like, hey, bravo. You did your job. You did your job well here, because it felt like a dream, because it was like you're catching the vocals, but it just kind of melds into the sounds that are going on a little bit. And yeah, I like this, but it's a little more art on the artsy side. Not a bad thing by any means. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's go with a 7 on that. Holding On is the next track. All right, so let's start with this. I think this one is definitely a little more simplistic comparatively to the last four. Is that a problem here? Absolutely not. We've had a wonderful ride. We've heard like a lot of different sounds, and they've really captured my attention. We're about halfway through this album. This next track will mark probably the end of the first leg of the album. And I think I'm guessing this is a good spot to stop it, just because not stop it, but call it the end of the first leg. Just that Dusk is 1 minute and 24 seconds long, so I'm kind of guessing it's kind of a weird like intro track in the middle, and it's more of a 5v5 album. You know what I mean? Like, so 5 songs on the first leg, 5 on the other, and you have the little intro in the middle. But what I'm loving here is not only are they keeping us very pleased in the sound department, like not non-vocals, let's put it that way. The vocals are fantastic. We've seen a little bit of artsiness. We've seen a little bit of simplicity. And every single track shows a really nice care for mixing and production. So I love that. I'm really kind of nervous on these last 5 tracks because the rating I have in my head right now for this LP, it's nice. You know what I mean? It's very, very nice. Very nice. Let's hit Dusk here, and yeah, let's see how the second half is. I do see, looks like some of the plays drop off a little bit on the second half. So, I mean, it could just mean that it's a little more artsy and people are like, something like that. Let's hit Dusk, though. This sounds like a memory of like a Halo 3 soundtrack song. The Dark Glow.
In my skull. empty was the fullness of our life.
Okay, another one I really, really enjoy. Like, it just feels like such a journey, you know? It was like slow and brooding, and yes, I like Crooked Shower, Crooked Showers, Crooked Shadows. Interesting. We have Dusk, the Dark Glow, Crooked Shadows. Jesus Christ. Distant Suns, Vesper. So everything's like the lack of light here on this side of things. Interesting. Or is that actually kind of all blackout? Undertow. It's pretty dark in the undertow. Yeah, no, this is a good one. I'll probably go with like 7, 8 on Dark Glow. I like that one a lot too. Crooked Shadows. I got it that time. Basie.
Horizontal light casts a crooked shadow, giving up the glare of a cheap motel. Open up your mouth and it's supposed to babble, making everywhere you go a living hell. And as the day is winding down, clinging tighter to your crown. Thought that you were glory bound, but you see the sun swing low. It's gonna set
I'm thoroughly happy. Almost everything I've said about every track on here, like quality-wise, still stands with this track. So playlist, let's put it in the high 7s somewhere. Let's keep it going. Distant Suns. Before we jump into this, I know I mentioned it briefly earlier, but if you're a fan of Thrice, please do me a solid and go support the band. There's plenty of ways you can do that. You can follow them on their socials. You can follow them on YouTube, I'm sure. You can buy merch. You can buy live tickets. You can share the music that you like from them with your friends, which is what we're doing here today. Again, shout out to Brian B. for the suggestion with Nash. My boy! Always picking bangers. Always picking bangers.
Drifting in the
Another very, very solid song. I mean, more than solid. Let's put that high sevens, low eights. I'm just loving the soundscape is stealing the show. I want to pay attention to the lyrics, and I can't. I can't even get to that part. for future listens, I suppose. But yeah, when something grabs you that much, it's hard to really hate it. The drums were sexy. And they've been sexy through this whole. It's all hips and nips. Gotta keep it tight, and they are. They absolutely are. Vesper Light. Let's keep it going. One last track after this. Oh, rating time.
sing.
All right. I'm thrilled with this. Let's keep it going. The guitar in this one swept me away. Took me off my feet. And I noticed they're like kind of keeping the vocals a little bit down. And normally that bothers me, but it's like perfect with this because they're cleans and very melodic for the most part. And like, so it adds a little bit of this grit to it. United West. Okay. We have one hell of an outro here. Still 25 seconds left. I do think that it drawled on a little bit too long for me. But I love the bell choir stuff. Love that. Loved it. Very atmospheric. Very artsy way to end this album. Obviously not everybody's going to love that, especially if 6 minutes. It's not going to go on a playlist for me, probably. I'm going to put it in one now just because I want to listen to it again out of curiosity, like especially that first half. But this is probably not going to stay in, just to be totally honest with you. Now, does it run well with the album? Yes, absolutely. Even though, again, I do think that it drew on a little long there at the end. Like, I don't know. It didn't do much. You know what I mean? So let's talk about this album as a whole. We have two kind of atmospheric tracks, one kind of very, very short and one very long. Otherwise, every song besides those two are in the 7s or 8s. And I think there was like one or two that I was Albatross. I thought it was a 9. So very solid overall. I think if you're going to listen to this album, you should definitely be doing it in good headphones. I'm going to listen to this again on some shitty headphones. I'm going to be straight with you because I'm very curious to see if this kind of sounds flat. Because I feel if it did kind of sound a little flat in some bad headphones, it could come off a little post-grunge-ish, like, you know what I mean, like dad rock-ish, whatever. It's not that big of a deal because I feel like there's a lot of care put into not only the production, the mixing, the instrumental, while being simple at times, doing exactly what the sound needed. Like, it was awesome. So many different instruments stood out through this thing. I liked the lyrics, even though they were I felt simplistic. I don't fucking know because the sound just swept me off my feet. Let's talk ratings here. Oh shit, I don't know where this one's. Let's go. We're gonna go with a strong 8, flat 8. Love this. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. Don't think it's great. Superb, for sure. Yeah. This is an easy 8. I again, everything just popped so well. Sure, at times, like the vocals or maybe even the lyrics felt a little simplistic. But again, I can't really speak on that because on the lyrics side of things because I was swept away with the soundscape, and I think regardless, even if the lyrics are a little flat at times, I don't think it matters because it kind of just flows so well as a piece, as a project. I kind of want to go higher than 8. I'm not going to lie to you, but we're going to give this another listen and see how I feel. I don't want to get too overly excited, but I could see like closer to an 8.5 for sure. Not going to lie to you. But I want to hear what it sounds like on some bad pair of headphones out of curiosity. I love this album. This is fantastic. Shout out to Thrice again. I'm Pyro. If you guys want to help support me, hit that like, drop a comment down below, hit subscribe, join the community. If you're going to drop a comment, please let me know what your thoughts are on this album and where would you rate it. I like the give and take of that. And yeah, I'm kind of shell-shocked here. I feel bad for whatever project I decide to dive in next because this is really nice sound-wise. I might just end the night here because it's good. It's good. Yeah, I'm Pyro. Peace out, y'all. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. Again, go for their support for Thrice. I probably should get into some of their older LPs and delve in a little bit more, too. Be honest with you.